It didn't record? Oh, okay. Oh, it did. Oh, I was about to
Hit the damn record.
hit the damn record. See, we record something. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unlikely Friends podcast, Solo Edition Part 4. So, if you are watching us on YouTube, listening to us on Spotify, or follow us on Facebook, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know when we post a new video. So, ding, ding, baby, ding, ding. As you can see, Desma is not here with me. She is back, but I am finishing my solo edition, part 4. Last week, I talked about the Republican Party, why I am not a part of the Republican Party, and today I'm going to tell you why I am not a part of the Democratic Party, although I am independent, but Democrat leaning, but not Democratic, okay? But here are the reasons why I don't want to support the Democratic Party. So, the Democratic Party, often seen as a primary opposition to the Republican Party in the United States, presents itself as a champion of progressive values, economic justice, and social equality. However, despite its stated goals, the party has significant shortcomings that undermine its effectiveness. These include a lack of strong leadership and messaging, an over reliance on corporate influence, failure to pass meaningful progressive policies, and an inability to effectively counter Republican obstructionism. These issues not only weaken the Democratic Party's ability to govern, but also alienate its own voters. The weak messaging of the leadership. So, one of the most persistent issues within the Democratic Party is the failure to communicate a clear and compelling message to voters. Unlike Republicans, who effectively use simple, emotionally charged rhetoric to mobilize their base, Democrats' messaging tends to be complex, vague, or overcautious, making it difficult to inspire enthusiasm amongst voters. For example, during the election cycles, Democrats frequently emphasize the dangers of their Republican policies rather than articulating a strong, proactive vision of their own. This vote against GOP strategy may energize voters temporarily, but it does not build long term loyalty or excitement. Additionally, party leaders such as President Joe Biden and past Democratic congressional leaders have often failed to project bold, decisive leadership that excites grassroots movements and mobilizes change. Despite branding itself as a party of the working people, the Democratic Party remains heavily influenced by corporate interests. Many centrists receive significant campaign contributions from large corporations, Wall Street, and pharmaceutical healthcare industries. This financial dependence makes it difficult for them to fully commit to progressive economic reforms such as Medicare for all, a Green New Deal, or stronger labor protections. As a result, while Democrats may introduce policies that appear work friendly, these efforts are often watered down or stalled due to pressure from corporate donors. The reliance of the Democratic leadership to challenge powerful industries leads to frustration amongst progressive voters, many of whom feel that the party does not truly represent their interests. The Democratic Party has historically struggled to pass significant progressive policies, even when it holds power. For example, during Barack Obama's first term, the Democrats controlled both the White House and Congress, but yet they failed to pass a public option for Medicare healthcare despite widespread support. Similarly, in Joe Biden's presidency, key elements of the Build Back Better agenda, including universal healthcare and paid family leave, were either scaled back or abandoned due to resistance from centrist Democrats like Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema, who claimed to be independents. If voters feel that electing Democrats does not lead to a real change, they may become disengaged from the political process altogether, reducing turnout and weakening the party's ability to win elections. Despite Republican obstructionism being a well documented strategy, Democrats have consistently failed to effectively counter it. When in power, they often pursue bipartisanship, even when it's clear that the GOP has no interest in cooperating. Democrats spent months negotiating with Republicans on voting rights and social spending bills, only for these efforts to be blocked by filibusters or stonewalling. Instead of using their power to push through legislation, such as eliminating the filibuster or taking stronger executive actions, Democrats often hesitate, fearing political backlash. This reluctance to play hardball contrasts sharply with the Republicans, who aggressively push their agenda when in power. As a result, Democrats frequently appear weak, ineffective, and furthermore, discouraging their base. Another major shortcoming of the Democratic Party is the failure to fully embrace and support grassroots activism. Progressive movements such as Black Lives Matter and the fight for a $15 minimum wage and climate justice organizations have mobilized millions of Americans around urgent social issues. However, the Democratic Party often distances itself from these movements, offering only a symbolic support rather than a concrete policy commitment. For instance, while many Democrats publicly endorsed the racial injustice protests in 2020, few followed up with a substantial police reform policies. Similarly, the party has been hesitant to embrace the more ambitious climate policies championed by grassroots organizations, opting instead to moderate compromises. This disconnect between the Democratic leadership and the progressive base has created tensions within the party, leading to primary challenges against a centrist incumbent and growing dissatisfaction among young and left leaning voters. Why am I saying all of this? In conclusion, I understand a lot of the Democratic policies because I used to be a Democrat. But while the Democratic Party positions itself as a defender of democracy, social justice, and economic equality, its shortcomings severely limits its ability to bring about meaningful change. Weak messaging, corporate influence, legislative inaction, failure to counter Republican obstruction, and neglect of grassroots activism all contribute to its struggles. If the party hopes to maintain long term political success, it must address these issues by embracing bold leadership, prioritizing progressive policies, and committing to genuine systemic reform. Without these changes, the Democratic Party risks continued voter disillusionment and political stagnation. And there, my friends, is the reason why. So if you like this type of content and you listen to us on Spotify, following us on Facebook, and you watch us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know when we post a new video. So, ding, ding, baby, ding, ding. So, there are my views on why I am an independent, why I am no longer a part of the Democratic Party, and why I was never a part of the Republican Party in my last video. Okay, everybody take care. Deuces. Yeah.